Purdue University Airport. We're the first university in the United States to own and operate its own airport. We've been here since 1930. Our history is rich. It goes all the way back to Amelia Earhart. She was faculty at Purdue. And you talk about the ideas of laboratory and innovation and trying new things. The reason that Amelia came to Purdue was she was faculty, and we purchased, or actually PRF did, the airplane that Amelia attempted to fly around the world in 1937. And it was, built as a flying laboratory, right? And so we've got this history going back for, 90 years of trying new things. One thing that's really interesting about the airport too is there's no such thing as a training airport. This is a real airport. We're subject to all the same regulations as any other commercial airport in the United States. Out of the give or take almost 4,000 airports in the United States that are publicly owned and operated, there's only about 6 or 7 that are owned and operated by a tier 1 research institution like Purdue. So we've often been called the biggest classroom on campus. We have over 1,100 students that out of our West Lafayette students of, I think it's almost 50,000 now, that come out every day to the airport to study some facet of aviation as part of their degree program, professional flight, those that are looking to become mechanics, avionics technicians, run airports or airlines like myself, UAS, drones, all these different disciplines that come out here every day. We've been doing that for a long time, but over the last couple of years, like Troy was talking about, really becoming the largest laboratory on campus too. So right here, we're part of the West Lafayette campus, over 500 acres. And one of the challenges at the beginning, when we first talked about the 5G, what does that do to existing aircraft, right? Like there was a lot of questions within inside the FAA and how those signals interacted with aircraft, and they're safe, right? But those things had to be studied and proven. And now that we've got this technology that's here, we're one of just a handful. We're the only university I know of in the United States that has its own airport that's got this level of activity and research going on. And pardon the pun, but the sky's the limit with what you can do with the data then on the runway, right? We can start to collect it on the airfield. And just before this meeting, we were talking with somebody else that has other ideas of, hey, we would like to test this new technology. And well, that's great. Did you know we have a 5G network here? How can I plug into that, right? Like, and something else that's really interesting is out of these 5,000 airports in the United States, if you go speak with most airports, they're not focused on research, right? They're focused on other things. That's part of the DNA of Purdue. It's not just education, but it's the research. So when somebody says, I have this new idea that I want to test, yeah, we want to hear more about it. So our partnership, has been longstanding with PRF. One would not exist without the other, between Purdue and Purdue Research Foundation. And when Saab, came to West Lafayette in 2018, that was fantastic. And now they built the fuselage for the Boeing T-7 is built right here at our airport for the next generation of U.S. Air Force trainers. And then Ericsson has just been great to work with too. And the technology that they've brought to the airfield has just given us a very unique platform that you just don't find anywhere else.
Adam, do you want to talk a little bit about the commercial service in the new terminal?
Yeah, so a couple other things I could say is in terms of, if you look at the metric of operations, being a takeoff or a landing, Purdue University Airport is the second busiest in the state of Indiana. I think last year we did about 130,000, either a takeoff or a landing. The only one busier than us is Indianapolis International. A lot of that is flight training. However, earlier this year, we returned scheduled service to Chicago O'Hare International. We're in the process of building a new commercial terminal adjacent to the building I'm in right now, and its namesake is Amelia Earhart. So the Amelia Earhart Terminal, and it's going to be a more modern facility, strictly dedicated to commercial operations. The building we have right now is, as Troy said, at one time we had our own airline, so it's a hangar and it's a laboratory for engines and it's a library. the new building we're constructing is 100% terminal for commercial flight. So going back to the idea of, this is a real airport subject to all the same regulations as any other commercial airport in the United States. And then you pair that with high level of flight activity, real world commercial operations with people and airlines that are coming in and out. Airlines want to test new technologies too. It's unique. You just don't find that anywhere else in the United States.